Hello and welcome to EcoView Web, Commercial Edition by Advanced Telemetry. To get started, please log on to ecoviewweb.cloudapp.net. Once you've landed on our homepage, please type in demo at ecoviewweb.com as your email address, then type in password as your password. Then hit login. Once you have successfully logged in, you'll be brought to our welcome page. Here, you'll have a few different features to choose from. Let's go ahead and click on Site Explorer first. When clicking on Site Explorer, the first thing you'll see is our site tree here on the left-hand side. This will list all your sites under your account. When clicking on this store, you will see our dashboard appear. The dashboard allows you to do a lot of different things. First, it will allow you to view the store's vitals in real time. Here, we have our power meter reporting the instantaneous power that the site is pulling. You can also come in here and check the temperatures for your building. A couple different functions is the schedule button that allows you to schedule your thermostats, your lights, kitchen equipment, and any other electrical relay that you have tied into our resource controller. You can also view the device history by clicking on the device history tab. Let's go ahead and click on that so I can show you a little bit about what that does. Here you'll see the front counter thermostat highlighted. We also have the temperature point highlighted, and we're asking for the last 2 days of history. You go ahead and click on that and you'll see all the point history show up here on the right hand side. For instance, on August 2nd at 5:55 p.m. the front counter temperature was 76 degrees. It stayed that way for about 5 minutes till 6 p.m. when it then changed down to 75. Next, we'll take a look at the thermostat state for the front counter. Go ahead and check thermostat state, then get point history. And then you'll see the history populate here again on the right hand side. So you can see here at 1:30 in the afternoon the front counter operating state went to idle. Then a few minutes later the front counter HVAC system's operating state went to cooling. And you can see here the trend throughout the day. And of course, if you wanted to go back last week, you can just click on 7 days here and it'll take you back 7 days through the point history. And now let's take a look at the alerts tab. Go ahead and click on the alerts button here and you'll see the site tree here on the left hand side again. We're going to go ahead and choose Burger King McMinnville, then hit refresh, and we're asking for the last 20 alerts that were generated from this site. Now there were no alerts generated from this site, but if there was a high temperature alarm or low temperature alarm or some kind of power alarm, it would be archived here in the alert history tab. The other major function for the alerts tab is the configuration. Let's go ahead and click on that now. This basically allows the user to set up an alert specifically for a location. For instance, let's say at this Burger King McMinnville store we want to know if an air conditioner is reaching its set point and idling throughout the day. We can come down here to the editor, click on create new rule, then choose your trigger device. We're going to go ahead and leave it at front counter. Then we're going to change the trigger point to operating state. We're going to leave the condition equal to, and we're going to leave the trigger value as idle. So basically every time the front counter thermostat changes its operating state to idle, we will now be notified via email. We'll go ahead and validate the rule just to make sure that the value is correct, which you can see here the confirmation that the value is valid. Then you can come into the email recipient box, type in your email address, then hit update alert. Once you've done this, the new alert will show up in your alert rule configuration box. Now let's take a look at the graphs. You will first be prompted to select a graph. Let's choose operating state runtime. Again, you'll be prompted to select which store, thermostat, and date range you're interested in viewing. And here is the operating state runtime graph for the last 24 hours. You can see that it breaks down the operating state to the minute. You can also view this information in a unified pie chart, as well as export this graph to a CSV. Let's come back here and choose HVAC performance graph. And this graph basically lets you know how your HVAC unit is performing. You can see here that the temperature does reach its set point throughout the day and idles for a good portion of the business hours. Again, you can export this graph using our Export to CSV button. So let's go ahead and move on to reports now. I'm going to select Field Unit Energy Consumption Report. Now this Field Unit Energy Consumption Report will show you the consumption report for all your stores under your account. I'm going to view the last 7 days and hit go. So the energy consumption report shows you your consumption for, again, all your stores in your account. It'll give you a breakdown of the total kilowatts used in a certain time frame, as well as gives you an average daily, weekly, and monthly usage. Now let's take a look at EcoView's messaging feature. This messaging feature will allow you to send messages down to your EcoView touch panel there on location. You simply come to the site tree here on the left, select which stores you're interested in viewing, create a message in the Create a Message box, then hit Select Sites. This concludes our EcoView Web tutorial video. If you have more questions regarding our web portal, please feel free to call us at 877-511-9090. Thanks for watching.